Hi, this is Kylie with Fem and Flow. I hope everyone's having a great day. Today, I'm talking about a topic that I think is so interesting. It's how to align with your soul's purpose and mission. And a lot of my episodes and my content have really touched on this already, but this deep dives into it in a way I haven't talked about before. So I think it is extremely interesting. And if you listen to the podcast on your Saturn return, it touches on this. Actually, it touches on a lot of episodes I already talked about, probably all of them actually. So, in my first episode of my introduction, I talked about how when I was going through this first spiritual awakening process, I knew in my heart that I wasn't on my soul's purpose. At that point, I didn't really understand the nuance between purpose and mission. So that's what this episode's going to talk about. But in that, I said I knew I had a bigger purpose, but I didn't know what. And I knew I wasn't on the right track at the moment. And I kept tying career to a soul's purpose. And in that episode, I said, no, 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 that is not your soul's purpose. So I want to get clear on what I mean by that. And then in the Saturn return episode, I talked about your soul's purpose, just how that period of your life will unveil this and help you get back on the right track. And in the workbook, I put in the notes that people could fill out if they're doing a little soul searching. I mentioned soul's purpose in it, but I didn't really define or separate soul's purpose versus mission. So this will give a lot more insight on that and a whole new level of understanding. And then in my last episode, I talk about how our interests and our hobbies and our passions, they aren't random and we really have them for a purpose. And once we do that, it really will help connect us to our true essence and our higher self. So this episode really wraps those up in a bow and really adds a lot more understanding and insight to what I'm talking about there. So that's why I think this episode is so exciting and so important. On the big picture, first we'll just separate soul's purpose versus soul's mission. View your soul's purpose as being and your soul's mission as doing. So, your soul's purpose, you can't find it out there in the world. It's not a job or activity. Your soul's purpose is you. Your true purpose is being you and being your authentic self. So, I've talked a lot about how, well, have I talked about it? I don't know. Okay. So, I think we have basically a higher self still in the spirit world, and it's in the place we would consider heaven. And it is our full expression. It's our full energetic blueprint. It is what we uniquely are. I believe when we incarnate on earth, we can't fit that whole soul, all of that energy into this one little body. We just have a part of it in here currently. So when we come down, we have this illusion of separation. We're playing in this realm of duality and polarity, and we're only a fragment of our true soul and our true nature. And I've talked a lot about how everything's energy and how our vibration and our frequency we emit via our emotions go out into the quantum, and it's what creates this reality we're living in currently. We can align with our higher self, that full expression of ourself, of our soul that's still in heaven, still in the spiritual world. And by doing things that are aligned with our soul's purpose, being authentic to ourself, doing our true hobbies and our true interests. Like I said, they're not random. We have those for a reason. And when we do those things, we are aligning with that higher self and pulling more of our true energetic blueprint into our body we're inhabiting. So it's a little nuanced and it's a little confusing because I say our soul's purpose is being and it's not an activity, but yet doing those things that are our true passions and our true interests, they will pull more of our true energetic blueprint down onto earth. Does that make sense? I know it's really nuanced and it's just an interesting concept. But when we are pulling this true energetic blueprint from our higher self into this earth experience, that energy is high vibrational. We're pulling that from heaven. So when we do this, it raises the vibrations of ourself and it raises the vibrations of others around us. Having that energy and being the energy of our authentic self, it will help activate others to be in line with their higher selves as well. So we must be authentic and live our life from a high vibrational space. And when we do this and we pull that high vibrational energetic blueprint of our true soul's essence onto earth, it's essentially pulling in heaven on earth. Basically, be your authentic self. If you have innate hobbies, innate interests, things you're just naturally good at, things you're naturally drawn to, follow that and do that. Do your hobbies. It is so important to do your hobbies. If you like to paint, paint. If you like to golf, golf. Just do those things. Like I said, your purpose isn't an activity. The things themselves, the activities themselves aren't your purpose. It's the energy you're pulling in when you do these things and when you're just in alignment with that true version of yourself. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a little confusing there. So, going on to authenticity, I view authenticity as an activator or a booster energy or frequency. I talk a lot about how each emotion has its own unique frequency, and I view authenticity a little different than the emotions and how they carry different vibrations or frequencies. I see authenticity as a booster to the emotional frequencies. For example, if you're experiencing the emotion of happiness and you're being your authentic self while you're doing it, the frequency or vibration you are radiating gets a magnified or multiplied effect. Because you can be happy, but you're not really being your authentic self. But once you're happy and you're in your true authentic nature, you're just being yourself. You don't care who judges, you don't care about how people might perceive you. You're just being yourself and you're happy. That authenticity is going to magnify and multiply the vibration that happiness itself as an emotion, as a emotional vibration will put off on its own. So live authentically. And to live authentically, it's to be living aligned with your soul's purpose and your higher self. So that's why all of this is so important. So just live authentically, be the authentic you. If you don't know who you are, just get to know yourself. Start doing some soul searching and then live your life in these high vibration emotions. I talked about some different things you can do to raise your vibration in the last episode, I believe. So pair these together and it's just the perfect recipe for a truly magical life. Like I just said, our soul's purpose is not a job, a career, or even to help others. It's simply to be and experience life in high vibration emotions paired with authenticity. So do what you love, do what you're naturally drawn to, do what is fun for you. Just what naturally are you drawn to? Do that. Do it in a high vibrational way, like I talked about in the last episode, and pair that with authenticity. This will really get you in that right place to be aligned with your higher self and be truly, truly magnetic. And if we're talking about the tiers of this or what's more important or what should be priority, our soul's purpose should be the first priority. Our first priority should be being instead of the doing part of it. And that's because to achieve our soul's mission, we need to be aligned with our purpose and aligned with our higher self and living in those vibrations, those high vibrations of love, and then pair it with authenticity. And you're just pulling in so much good energy and pulling in really high vibrational energy. So that's the first step. Just being your authentic self, living in high vibration emotions, and doing all the hobbies and fun things that will get you in that spot, and you will be aligned with your soul's purpose. Then, priority two, the second tier, is our soul's mission. But we definitely need to achieve number one, our soul's purpose, and be in line with that to have our full effect of our mission come into fruition. Our soul's mission is much more than just a physical doing a job or doing a career. Part of it is doing the mission, but also sharing your energy with society, sharing that magnetic energy that just comes along with living in high vibrations, living in authenticity, and living aligned with your soul's purpose. By living in that place and then doing your mission, you are activating others, inspiring others, helping others to also be in that place. And together, when we all do that, it is huge. It's so magnetic. And this is how we are pulling heaven onto earth. It's the vibration of it. I've mentioned this quote before, but I love it so much. And I love Nikola Tesla. If you just look into quotes from him and understand what his mission was, it's so interesting and so aligned with this. But he said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And that is exactly what I'm talking about here. So, more about the mission aspect of this. Once you're aligned with your soul's purpose, then mission becomes really important as well. Your mission is the doing part of it. You came here with a specific mission, whether you know it or not, and whether you realize that yet. And I do believe that if you start with just the being aspect of it, following your soul's purpose, following your interest, and focusing on the being part, I think your mission will naturally be revealed to you. So, getting into the mission a bit more though, your mission could be a specific career, but it doesn't always have to be something that seems so grand or important. Everyone came here with a unique mission, and on the surface, your mission might not seem that important, but everyone's is extremely important. And looking back through history, some huge ones stand out that are clearly important, and you can tell, wow, they really were in line with their soul's mission, and look what they brought. So I'll mention a few of them. So the first one I'll mention, I just mentioned a quote by him, but is Nikola Tesla. Look into him, look into the work he did, look into free energy, and ask yourself, is this a technology that we actually do have but was covered up? Just some little food for thought. And also look at Albert Einstein, look at Jesus and Mary Magdalene. There's so many important historical figures that really brought great things and really help humanity take a big leap forward. So that could be someone's soul's mission to bring advanced technology to help humanity move forward, whether it's technologically or advance consciousness and help people have a new perspective on different topics. Your mission could be being a mother. Your mission could be challenging the status quo. And missions aren't always bright and shiny and warm and cuddly and give you the fuzzy feelings. Some people, it could be their mission to challenge the status quo in a way that triggers others and makes them start to question society and question the way things are going around them. Someone's mission could be art. Art can inspire others, make people look at different perspectives. Your mission could be being a yoga teacher or showing others how to cook their food from scratch and making it look fun and doing it in an inspirational way. Your mission could be going into industries and changing the way they're operated and calling out corruption. Your mission could really have a big span. It could be anything. What do you feel naturally drawn to? What are you knowledgeable about? And we shouldn't judge others for what they're doing or what their mission is. We don't know, and we shouldn't have ego about it either. We shouldn't think, "Oh, our career makes all this money and you choose to go into art." Think about all the stereotypes we have in our society about the starving artist. Or look how low teachers' salaries are, but how important their work is. It's just really interesting how society has put these narratives around different professions. And it's also interesting how celebrities, whether they're actors or models or athletes, it's interesting how much they get paid. What are they actually contributing to society except for entertainment? Are they trying to push certain narratives? Is society trying to push certain narratives through them and that's why they're paid so much and so valued? Personally, to me, the celebrities that are being shown the most in media have the biggest red flags around them. So I really hope everyone really thinks about this and thinks critically about who we are looking up to, who is capturing our attention and capturing our money. Money and attention are both energy. Who are we giving our energy to? We really need to think about this. Think about who's in the headlines, who the media really pushes up and puts on a pedestal. I definitely can name a few people right now. But funnily enough, I do realize I literally just said don't judge anyone's mission. And I actually do realize that some of these celebrities and athletes, maybe it is their mission to go into this space, become famous, and perhaps to expose the dark underbelly of Hollywood and the entertainment industry. Some of these people might actually be in this position as a mission in order to expose or change the status quo. So I definitely realize that and want to point that out. Another interesting thing to point out and take a look at is how in our current society the masculine traits are so revered and celebrated. And then it seems like feminine traits are more pushed down or looked down upon. And I don't think it's men doing this. I think there's a deeper thing here. So we shouldn't just start bashing men or blaming other men. It goes beyond that. Perhaps we could take a little peek at the Roman Catholic Church. But I digress. So back to how masculine traits are more revered and held up in society. Look at how ambition and making money is so celebrated in our society. And then doing other things that are more feminine are painted in a way that they're less important. And they're simply not. It's just interesting how society has shaped this and gotten us to where we are today. I kind of went on a tangent there. Now I'm trying to figure out how to wrangle this back in. But basically, don't judge others' missions. And when it comes to your own mission, just truly trust yourself. Everyone's mission is very unique, and Really, it doesn't matter how much money it brings in or how revered it is in society. We don't need to listen to outside noise. If you are someone that's in your mission and you feel confident about it and you feel aligned, don't listen to what society is telling you. Don't listen to what society says you should be or what you should do. Don't follow what's trendy. Just truly listen to your heart, listen to your inner guidance. We really need to be sovereign and focus on ourselves and listen to ourselves more. We have all the answers within. And back to it not mattering how much money it brings in, I actually believe if you're in your purpose and your mission, money will naturally flow to you and you'll be taken care of. We just need to be able to tap in to our intuition because that's how we tap into God and that's how we tap into source. We do not need people around us, society, religion, different institutions. We don't need them telling us who we need to be or what we need to do. We have the answers inside. So we just need to be able to quiet our mind, really go inward, and really learn to listen and hone our intuition and our discernment because we have the answers. We have them. God's not an outside thing we need to chase or please. God is found within us. And that is just so important because society really tries to tell you the opposite. They try to sell you all this stuff. They try to sell you religion. They try to sell you a pill that will fix everything. We have the answers. You have the answers within. And the only way out is in. The only way out of this situation is going within yourself and looking at the answers you innately have. Just remember the power you hold and get in touch with your true divinity because truly stop listening to society tell you you're not powerful. Stop listening to all the ways they take away your power and your divinity and listen to yourself. Truly go inward, tap into your heart. Your heart is so powerful. That's what we need to be listening to. But okay, back to our mission though. Really, some people came to tear down old paradigms or shine light on corruption. It's just so beautiful how many missions people could have. It's amazing. And some people came to explore spirituality or explore different ideas and then share their ideas. Honestly, that's what I feel my mission is. It's just to get interested, explore all these ideas, explore all these different topics, search for knowledge, look for what's been hidden, and then share the ideas. I really feel like that's my mission, and that's really what I want to do. Also, back to art for a second, because I talked about how some people, their mission might be creating art that inspires others. Just think about music and art and how they can really evoke such feeling and emotion. It's like when you listen to certain songs or look at certain art, it just inspires and activates something in your soul that you might not even be able to put your finger on. So, I personally want to get rid of the narrative of starving artist. I touched on soul's purpose and soul's mission and how we really need to prioritize soul's purpose first because that will get us in the right energy and the right alignment to achieve our mission in a way that will truly activate and inspire others and really share the energy and the frequency of what will really help society, really help others, and really anchor that heaven on earth. But now I'll touch on what happens if we're not tapped into our soul's purpose, but we are on the right soul's mission. I believe that if we're fully going after and accomplishing our mission without being aligned with our soul's purpose first, that being aspect, I think that could lead you to burnout. And burnout can cause your nervous system to be dysregulated, and this hinders your emotional responses. And I talk a lot about how we need a healthy nervous system because our emotional response and the emotions we put out, that frequency is really what pulls back in and creates our reality. We need to be tapped into our soul's purpose in the way we're doing things that really nourish and fill our soul and make us happy and really balance us. We need to really be in that being part of it. That's the space we need to be at so we don't lead to burnout. Because then, if we are burned out, then full circle, the cure for burnout is back to the being aspect of it. It's doing nothing, just being in that great energy. It's being in nature and flow and at ease, and essentially being in our soul's purpose. And think about how good you feel when you do a hobby you truly love. Whether it's painting, do you just go into a different trance? Like, do you just feel like you're in a different kind of flow? Or if you golf, do you feel like it's meditative for you? Do you just feel you feel that flow? When we're in that meditative flow state, that's when our brainwaves go into theta. And that's when we're in the perfect spot to connect to source, connect to the energy, connect to our intuition. And that's when we'll receive these divine insights and guidance and just be in that perfect headspace. So that's what we're truly after here. And back to society for a moment, because I talk about how being should be the priority, but probably a lot of people might be in their mission, but they're not in their purpose aspect of it. Look at society. Specifically, society in the US is really set up backwards. It pushes to make doing more important than being. Be critical of this and really explore why. I don't know about you, but there was a point in my career, if you asked me what my hobby was, I did not have one. Like, I would go blank and I wouldn't be able to tell you what my hobby was. And I think a lot of people are like that. So we really need to change this paradigm. And how a society is set up, it causes people to feel bad when they aren't achieving, producing, moving, and doing. Like, how many people out there, if you're just sitting still, you feel like antsy and like you can't sit still and you can't focus and like you need to be doing something? That is a sign of a dysregulated nervous system. I truly think everyone, no matter your personality, you should be able to sit still, focus, and just be in that flow and ease state. That's when you get into theta state, your theta brainwaves, like I just mentioned. That's when you receive that inspiration, divine guidance, divine insight. You get those aha moments. That's connecting to source. When you're in that state, that's when you get these aha moments and things make sense and you get this divine knowledge. It's amazing. So we really need to make sure we are in that state. And please, please, please don't just write it off like, no, I'm hyperactive. I have to always be doing something. How many of you yourself have said this, or you've heard your friends say, as a badge of honor, they're like proud of it, that they just can't sit still. They always have to be doing something, be achieving, be producing. I don't know. It seems like people say this like they're proud of it. And I think society has programmed it that way. So we really need to be critical of this, like in a good way. Go inward, look at how you operate, and ask yourself if you do that. And if you do that, no problem, just time to regulate the nervous system a little bit. And I have an episode on that if you are interested. But also on this note, so if we are like this, if you are like this, we can ask if it's societal programming or are we keeping ourselves busy because there's something we're trying to hide, push down, or avoid. We really need to face our traumas and face the things we're trying to mask by being busy and by going all the time. So if this is you, if you are trying to avoid some stuff, It's okay. Just do some shadow work around this. And shadow work can be as simple as journaling about the topic, making the connection like, okay, this makes sense. This happened to me. I never faced it. It's now causing me to act in this way, or this is what I'm trying to avoid. It's fine. Just make the connection and then truly let it go. I've mentioned this before, but after we do shadow work, we truly want to fully let it go. Do not make it part of your story. Don't tell this to yourself, don't tell it to others. Truly just let it go. It doesn't need to be part of your story at all. The next thing I'll talk about, so say you've listened to all this and you're like, okay, you talked about your mission, your purpose. You talked about what happens if you're in your mission but not your purpose. Hello, what about me? What about the people who are confused about all of it? I know I used to be there. So, no problem. No problem. This is the best answer ever. You're going to love it. So, just if you're confused about both your mission and your purpose, go back to my last episode about tapping into your hobbies, your interests. Truly just do your hobbies and interests. Do the things that you naturally feel pulled towards and just be. Go walk in nature, meditate, dive into self care. Just do things that truly make you happy. This will start to align you with your soul's purpose of the being aspect and be authentic about it. Do some soul searching, find out who you are authentically. Once you get in this energetic spot of being aligned with your higher self, just doing the things that truly make you happy, that make you feel whole, that make your heart sing, that kind of feeling, that just make you feel at ease and in flow. Do all of that. See, doing all that, that would be fun, right? This is so easy. So I really truly think once you're just in your soul's purpose, you're in that true essence, you're aligned with your higher self, then your mission will come through and it will just be revealed to you. So just truly go with the flow, surrender, allow the universe to work. Just be your true authentic self and allow your mission just to flow to you. So let's say you have started doing your hobbies more, you're more in touch with yourself, you feel like you're living in your authenticity and you're feeling good, you're flowing, you're at ease, you feel tapped in. Put out the intention that you're ready for your mission and it will truly be revealed to you. Maybe you can even journal about it. I love journaling about stuff. It really just gets me in that flow state where I'm open to receiving information. Meditate, go out in nature, be in solitude. Just do those kind of things, and that's when it will be revealed. Your mission may come in an aha moment where you just get an epiphany and follow this aha moment, follow that feeling, and then just follow your intuition to guide you. And I understand this might sound vague and weird or something, but just start doing this process and you will understand. It's amazing. The more comfortable you are in your soul's purpose, the quicker you'll discover your soul's mission. So just get comfortable, get in that flow state, baby. Just go out there, be your authentic self, be in high vibe emotions, and experience life. How easy is that? That's perfect. That's fun. That's what you want to do. Let this be easy. Like, don't make life about suffering and how hard it is. Change your perspective. Go out there, live a life of ease and flow, and all of this will come to you naturally. And remember how I talked about all that ego that comes with comparing and judging others? and how much money you're making. I truly think as you fulfill and are more aligned with your soul's purpose of just being, then your ego will start to dissolve. And your ego is tied to the doing and achieving because that's what society has programmed into us. Society really wants us to compete, to produce, to achieve, to compare. But as you're more aligned with your soul's purpose of being, that ego will dissolve. And I truly think that's when you'll start to see society's programming for what it is. And then you can look past all of this and understand society has no power over you, no control, and you can truly step into your power and be a sovereign being. Think about it. Your ego can't show off being, it can only show off doing and having. So truly just surrender to being. Truly surrender to the universe, be at flow and at ease, and just enjoy life. Don't try to compete with others. Don't try to compare what you have versus what other people have. Just look at others with compassion and not judgment. I hope that all made sense. I know I went on a few little tangents in there, but in summary, just know that there's your soul's purpose and there's your soul's mission. And your soul's purpose is the being aspect, doing what you love, being at flow and at ease, and just having fun and being in high vibe emotions and being your authentic self. And this should be your first priority because if you have this in line, then your mission will flow to you. Your mission is what you're doing in this world. It could be a career or being a mother or being a dad. It could literally be anything, and everyone's mission is so important. And don't compare what your mission is with others, and don't listen to what society has to say about your mission. Truly just listen to yourself when it comes to this. And mission is your second priority because you need to have the being aspect of yourself aligned energetically. So once you start doing your mission, you're truly radiating the energy and vibration that will inspire and help activate others because that's part of it. That's a huge part of it as well. And to being your soul's purpose, just surrender to the universe. Allow God, the universe source, to work through you, be in that flow state, and just do things that really make your heart expand and be magnetic and just be authentic. So I'd love to hear if this resonated with you. I really hope it does. And I really hope it helps everyone realize how powerful you are, how you truly are divine, and how you have the answers within. So step into your power, step into your divinity, take your divinity back. And like I mentioned, the only way out is in. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. I just shared a Spotify playlist with music I really like that's more high vibe and will make you feel expansive and good. So if you're interested in that, you can go listen. I hope you have a great day and thank you so much for listening.